Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horn, and I'm bringing you a video tonight titled, "The Man Who Is Not Afraid to Lose Her Will Always Have Her." But before we go any further, always note my videos in the dating space. They're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to the new, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. Get your copies. They're available at www.matthewchorne.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, especially the like button that moves me up in the algorithm, and the comments as well. And let's get right to it. The man who is not afraid to lose her will always have her. I've just been having a lot of conversations and making a lot of observations lately about men who are crashing out. They're trying to pull women back into their space that don't want to be there. And that's why you have to always never be afraid to lose a woman. I don't care if you're in a relationship, if you're dating, or if you're married. That woman has to choose you every day the same way that you choose her. And the only way to have her is to give her the freedom to choose you every day. So you never want to be in a position where you're trying to control a woman and coerce her to be in it just as much as you are. That puts you in a very weak position, and it puts you on borrowed time, because once the imbalance presents itself in a dating or relationship interaction, it never and it seldom recovers. Balance is never restored in relationships when it comes to imbalance. So when a woman begins to back away from you, you have to roll out that red carpet and usher her to wherever she wants to go. And choose yourself and love yourself enough to understand that you're going to recover. That you give yourself a chance to meet the woman who wants you the same way that you want her, because the previous woman, you weren't afraid to lose her. You always want to keep your space open for the woman who wants you the same way that you want her. That creates balance. That creates a balance in your dating life, that you always land with the right woman. And you never want to be in a position where the dynamic is established that you're more into her than she's into you, because that's a weak position, and she knows that she has you. And you never want a woman to think that she can behave any sort of way and feed you any dish that she wants to feed you, in terms of disrespect, imbalance, and a lack of desire. So you can never be afraid to lose a woman. I was just having a conversation earlier, and a guy told me that he witnessed a woman go to her phone, and a guy called her over 70 times because she wasn't picking up. And that's going to be the majority of men. So the solid men who love themselves and respect themselves always stand out. And those are the ones that the women always come back to. But when she comes back, your door always has to be closed, because imbalance is what caused you to choose yourself and ultimately close that door. Imbalance can never be restored. Imbalance is a byproduct of an imbalance, of a lack of desire from that woman towards you. That's why you can never crash out. These guys are sitting in jail for the rest of their lives. These guys, some of them have lost their lives from being in situations with women who clearly didn't want them the same way that they wanted them. So you should never be tracking a woman, be trying to force a woman to be there with you, to provide ultimatums. You should never have to do any of that, because a true balanced relationship is the woman is choosing you with the same fervor that you are choosing her. And you should never choose a woman to be in a relationship unless over a prolonged period of time, you never had to question her level of commitment and her desire for you. You should never have to question that. Because once you really love yourself, you're never afraid to let a woman go. And when you're the man who is not afraid to let a woman go, you stand out. I would say 99% of men are weak, and that's a very high percentage. But a lot of men don't know how to let go of a woman who doesn't want them. That's why you have shows like Fatal Attraction, and you see things in the media and in the news of guys who just couldn't let go. And they ultimately pay a price, because a lot of men take rejection and their solution to that is some sort of violence. If I can't have her, nobody will. That's the weakest statement a man can possibly make. You want to turn yourself into a very desirable man. And when you're a desirable man, as soon as imbalance presents itself, then you just let her go. And if you have to question if the woman is into you the same way that you're into her, you already have the answer. The answer is in the question. Is she really into you? Check out my video I did a couple of years ago. Is she really into you? The answer is in the question. And so you never want to try to force a woman to stay. And even if you have to put a woman on notice, if you have to repeatedly tell a woman that I'm not going to stay here if you don't want me the way that I want you, she's already giving you the signs that she's just not in it the same way that you are. And why would you choose to move forward and to build a life with someone who you had to convince to remain in your space? Think about that. That shows that you don't love yourself. That shows that you don't have the options because you haven't become the man who commands the type of options that represent balance in his life. So you never want to try to force a woman to stay. As soon as she's giving you those signs that, things might have started out one way, and she begins to open her eyes and look around you and veer around those different corners and feels like she's missing out on something. And once she feels like she's missing out, you are no longer her first choice. She may have presented it that way, and you may be in that space that you want to work things out with her because she's a representation of your first choice. But once that imbalance presents itself, just let her go. Just let her go. And she's going to be alone with her thoughts, because once you let a woman go and she's giving you signs that she's just not in it the same way that you are, the only thing that's really waiting most of the times are those men who aren't going to be able to let go the same way that you did. And those are the men that cause women to get restraining orders and to look over their shoulders and have to seek protection because these men are not strong enough and don't love themselves enough to choose themselves. So you always want to be that man who loves himself enough to choose himself when the woman shows that she does not desire you the same way that you desire her. And when I say her, when I say the title of the video, that the man who is not afraid to lose her will always have her. Her is not a literal woman. It's a figurative expression of the woman who is in it the same way that you are. So you're not afraid to lose her. You're not afraid to lose the woman who's not in it the same way that you are. And once you're not afraid to lose that woman, you'll always have a space reserved for her. So you'll always have her, meaning the woman who wants you and who's coming towards you the same way that you're coming towards her. That's what balance looks like. That's what longevity looks like. And a woman can switch up at any given moment in time. And that's why, regardless of the magnitude of your relationship, whether it's dating, a relationship, or a marriage, the cornerstone of the freedom and the fluidity of that interaction is you giving her the freedom to choose you every day the same way that you're choosing her. And that's what you have to look at. Every day in a relationship, you have to monitor the balance. Is she doing things to you that you would not do to her? Is she fading on you? Internally, are you feeling that things are changing? Is she presenting new dynamics that are a representation of her lack of desire for you that doesn't match the desire that you have for her? I don't care how long you've been in a relationship or married. Every day you have to monitor the dynamics of desire from the woman. And the minute that you feel that she's not coming towards you the same way that you're coming towards her, you have to choose yourself, because you will never be in a balanced situation until you're with a woman who wants you the same way that you want her. It's really that simple. This wasn't a deep or complicated message. Just choose the woman who chooses you. And sometimes she won't fit the aesthetic and have the beauty that you really desire, but she's attractive enough, and what takes her over the edge in terms of attraction is that she wants you. If you're truly a balanced man, the most attractive woman that you will have in your space is the woman that wants you the same way that you want her. Always choose yourself. Always choose balance. And when the situation is imbalanced in terms of desire, let her go. If you ever feel that a woman is moving away from you, don't question it. Because they come with explanations, but ultimately, and it doesn't take a long time, whatever you feel internally is your truth. That's your spirit telling you that something's imbalanced. And a lot of times, a woman can make a few excuses, but it won't take long to see that she's checked out. And you get to a point in the game when you know what it looks like for a woman to desire you, that you can look at a woman's movement and actions and her energy, and you already know when she's checking out. So don't go for the excuses and the things that she's doing to keep you there until she secures what she really wants. Because that's borrowed time at that point. You just want to get out. And it's okay. No level of love that you have for a woman should supplant or be higher than the love that you have for yourself. Self-love is what always keeps you in a balanced position with women. And if she knows that you're not afraid to lose her, then she's going to have to make a very calculated decision in terms of how she's going to conduct herself in your interaction in your relationship. You don't want to be that weak man. You don't want to be the man that's blowing up her phone. You don't want to be the man that's reaching out to her after she's blocked you on all of the mediums, her phone, social media, and things like that. Once you gave it what you had, you stated your proclamation that you're not going to stay in an imbalanced situation. Just let her go, man. Just let her go, because you're creating a space for her. Her is the representation of the woman that wants you the same way that you want her. I hope this has been of value to you. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach, bringing you a video tonight titled, "The Man Who Is Not Afraid to Lose Her Will Always Have Her." This title was derived from a quote in my book, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. And I do talk about that level of balance in my book, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. I talk about that as well in both of these titles. They're available at www.matthewchorne.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Push me up that algorithm so that I can continue to bring you more of these messages. If you feel that this video and this message has been of value to you, don't hesitate to drop something in my donation information. Keep me going so I can keep these videos coming. Also, if you're in need of coaching, if you feel that someone like me, Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach, can help you to have elevated experiences in the dating space, email me at matthewchorne23@gmail.com. We'll set up our consultation and we'll get you going in the direction that represents a healthy relationship and ultimately balance. I've enjoyed spending some time with you this evening. And don't forget to always choose yourself. Keep your world balanced. And if she is not coming toward you the same way that you're coming toward her, don't blow up her phone. Don't show up at her residence. Don't do any of that stalkerish, weak, beta behavior. Choose yourself. Let her go. Create a space for her.